What is going on, Nerd Paraders? Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me here today as we play through my new latest obsession and survival builder game, Smalland. If you're looking forward to seeing more about Smalland, stick here with me. We're going to be doing a playthrough of it, but if you'd like a really quick and dirty explanation, think Valheim, Ark Survival Evolved, and Grounded were all placed into a blender, and then this is the amazing gem that came out of it. Smalland is really super cool. I've been playing a lot of it live on Twitch, so check me out on twitch.tv/nerdparade if you haven't already done so, and drop a follow. But we've been gaming a lot of this on Twitch, and I've really, like I said, fell in love with it. And I want to do a playthrough series on it here now today. So I'm going to take what I've learned from live streaming, and we're going to apply it to this playthrough for a little bit of a guide experience, but also a playthrough series as well, until I get caught up to the point where I was at on Twitch, and then it becomes all new and exciting. So here we are. We just finished the little beginning intro scene. So if you're playing the game as well, you may notice right where we're at. The little beginning tutorial takes place in this little cave of tiny people right here, and we've just walked out of it. So we're playing on Tiny Nick, which is salute. Yes, my friends. Tiny Nick. They salute Tiny Nick as a tip of the hat to Rick and Morty is Tiny Rick. Let's go Tiny Rick. Let's go Tiny Nick. And let's dig right into it. So one thing that I learned really quickly along the way is there's a ton of things on the ground just to gather, and wood and fiber of that nature. Very basic resources, but very important. So when I first wandered through here, I kind of skipped most of this, and I was like, oh, I don't need these resources right away. You do. Grab them. You need them. They're very important. You need to get them. Make sure you do. And these little owls with the glowing green eyes are your tips, your hints, your guide, and once you interact with them, the eyes dim. And then you'll discover NPCs kind of across the map area, which we'll show you now. As you progress and complete little quests, the new NPC icons will show up on your map. Currently, we only have one. Nerd Parade is blocking it, but that's Hearn, and others will pop up around. And the cool thing about each NPC is they seem to be able to craft you armor. And that is the only way that I've seen thus far for you to get armor is crafted by NPCs. So you kind of have to progress the story a little bit in this very open world survival builder in order to unlock the cool armor. So let's talk here to Herm. He's going to give us a quest, which we have here, but he's also going to give me a crafting option, which is craft armor. So first we'll get the assignment. This is a quest. This is going to unlock other new stuff. So we've got that. He told us to go visit Elder Ludwig, and it should pop up his location on the map as well now that I've talked to him about this, but we're going to craft the armor. So he offers us two types this at the very beginning of the game, absolute very beginning of the game. We could get padded, which gives us protection, or we could get light, which gives us protection and slight move speed. The padded stuff gives cold protection, which I found was more beneficial. The move speed is very small from the light gear. This may get changed because this is early access right now, but it's 2% per piece for a total of 6%. And I crafted this on the Twitch playthrough, and let me tell you, the move speed was unrecognizable. I didn't even notice it. So we're gonna dip into the cold protection gear instead of the move speed gear this time, and we need to get some more fiber, we're going to get from these little sprouts right here to craft the rest of it. So that's going to be my first goal, is getting gear. This is when I mentioned Valheim a bit earlier, if you're familiar with the Valheim system, it's very gear dependent, and Smalland is kind of no different. There's no levels for your character. You don't level up, but it's very gear dependent in the sense that your level ups are tied to your gear. Now, if and when you die in the game, you do not lose what is currently equipped on your character. Not your inventory, you lose that. You lose your inventory, but if you have something currently equipped on your character, i.e. your armor, and whatever you have in your hands, you will not lose that. You will retain it to go back and commence Operation Kit Recovery to get your stuff back. So your armor, whatever you're currently wearing, is pretty much always with you, unless it breaks and then you just need to repair it. So that's a really nice, cool thing. That's something that I really like. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted that in our little our little talk as we go on about this. So do I have enough? I do. We're gonna make the padded breachers and the padded bracers. Did I say breachers? I meant to say breaches and bracers. Oh, these are bracers. These are breaches. Let's get our stuff right and put it on. Here we go. Boop, boop. And now there's really no need to hang on to the original starting gear that I have discovered. And I played a decent amount. Let's go and talk to this guy who's going to tell me about armor. Yeah. There's no real reason to hang on to it. This might change if you're watching this later in the future as the game has developed more in its early access. So I'm coming back here behind the guy, and we're just going to poop it down. Or we pooped it down. I'm going to equip this little club that I have in my inventory as well. And the enemies in Smalland have strengths and weaknesses, or defenses and vulnerabilities. So different types of weapons do different types of damage. So I have a club here, and if we drill down on this, which I'll do that right now, this primitive club, if I move my head, does blunt damage. That's important to note. So blunt damage, there's slash or cut damage, and there's piercing damage. You want to find and target the thing that the enemy is weak against, because it matters. It really, really matters. So moving along here, I mentioned earlier, we didn't have the Elder before. We've got him now. So we're going to go talk to him and tag these owls so their eyes go away. This is telling us about the day and night cycle and the temperature. You notice cold protection on the gear. Yep, it will matter. It will matter. It especially matters when the seasons change. Oh yeah, there's seasons in the game. It's like Harvest Moon. When winter comes, most of your crops die. No, when winter comes, it gets very snowy and very cold, as you would imagine. And that's something I'm like really excited about. In most survival games, you see biomes, right? But you don't necessarily see like a change of season. You would have to go to a different area to experience a different biome. Well, in Smalland, there's like actually seasons. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, this is super cool. I really like that. So the more I play, the more I'm falling in love with it. And hopefully you guys are kind of like watching and making your decision of whether or not you're going to play the game as well. And hopefully you'll fall in love too. Now, one of the things that I did notice that I want to bring up now early in, because you may be asking yourself the same thing, probably not right at this moment, but you may be asking yourself the same thing, is there a first person mode? That's the wrong key. There is a first person mode. You can go into first person. It's a little janky when you start swinging because it gives you like the bob. So I don't love it. I haven't figured out a way to like disable the camera shake bob thing in first person. Otherwise I'd probably play in it. But we're gonna rock in third person just because it's a bit smoother. And you can zoom out a bit. You can zoom in a lot if you really want, but then you get into the same sort of situation. The button I hit earlier is very, very important. Let me see if I left anything in here. I really didn't. Oh wait, there's a twig thing right here, right? Yeah. So the button I hit before is using your little antennae, because you're a tiny pixie person. It scans the area and tells you where resources are. This took me a little while to figure out. Like I didn't actually know this, and I didn't know this like right off the bat. I didn't interact with the owl that told me about this. But when I figured this out, I was like, oh my God, this makes gathering so much easier and so crazy. So that's a huge quality of life thing to make note of in case you don't know about it. And this is a trick that I have to actively think about, but you can tap to pick up a single one, or you can hold your pickup button. I currently have it mapped to E. You can hold your pickup button to pick up everything around you, and it's relatively quick. I have played so many games where it's like, oh, spam, blah, 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 blah. Like you gotta spam, and it's, in the beginning I had to like actively tell myself, hey, hold E, bro, it's so much easier. And now it's kind of becoming second nature. But just to put that on your radar, if you're playing the game, get in the habit of holding your pickup button, because it like AoE loots for you, and it's really pretty nice. Vanguard, you're finally here. We're going to talk to our elder. He's going to give us a little quest and tell us about a jeweled clover key. This is like the main sort of quest in the game. That little box that we saw in the back is locked by a clover key. Troubling reports. Seek out settlers and investigate their claims, which you can see right above my head. Does this have anything to do with the clover key? An interesting coincidence. We have no evidence to suggest that, but let's continue on. You'll find settlers are scattered throughout the forest. This is important. This is what I was talking about. So I've marked their locations on your map. Be careful, Vanguard. The wilderness is filled with danger. Hearn and Kalev can help you survive here in the overland. Thank you. I shall leave now. The other stuff is like flavor text. He talks a little bit about the clover key, but for the sake of like keeping the pace going here in our video, I'm not going to dig into it. I did dig into it on the stream, and we like learned about it. This is the walnut chest. It's got these like little clover-shaped leaf impressions, I'm going to say, and we can examine it. We can interact with it, but we can't do anything because we don't have the key yet. So who knows what's in there? It's the ultimate treasure of the pixie people, I'm assuming. It'll solve all of our pixie-related problems. They're tiny problems, but they're problems nonetheless. So that has this has spurred us on our quest, and exploration will begin from here. This is all taking place very, very close to the starting area. So they're not like doing much to restrict you because the world is very, very open, as you can see. Drastana, all the way up at the top, she can make armor. Very, very cool. Kalev, over here, these are like the mine areas where you can mine stone, can make armor. Scotty down here, we interacted with him on stream. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but can also make armor. And this is a very subtle way of telling you where to go to advance. Very subtle way, because that's it. There's no more hints. So it pops these things on your map and kind of says, all right, work your way to, do your thing, but work your way to these people, and this is how you're going to kind of advance. So that's what we're going to do now. I know the pattern, essentially, of who to go to first. So the first person we're going to want to go to is Kalev. One, he's the closest, and two, also helps us kind of advance on our crafting tier, let's say. Whereas if we go back to the map, we can work our way all the way up to Drastana. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous trek. We can work our way all the way to Scotty right away for the very beginning. It's a bit of a dangerous trek, but you can do it. But you're likely not going to be able to kill the insects in the area that provide you the resources to craft the armor that you would need. And you also need some crafting stations that you wouldn't necessarily have access to if you just decided to beeline. So I did try to skip some tiers. It's obtuse. You can do it, but it's just easier to follow like the kind of I don't want to say predetermined path, but you get kind of where I'm going with it. It's like the path set out before you. So it's better just to follow that and roll with it. I'm going to keep gathering some resources here. We need to, one, put down a campfire, which I'm just going to do here before I hear something. I hear a chitter, so I know somebody's going to roll up on me as soon as I start to build. But first things first, we got to get in here and make ourselves a builder's hammer. We made the club. We need to make a hatchet for cutting down stuff. Put the builder's hatchet there, and I want to make a torch, like super, super valuable. But as soon as you can, I knew it was gonna come at me. Get out of here, ant. Get out of here, ant number 2. Oh, there's 3 ants. Oh, for God's sake. All right, just gotta smash ants. Well, that was a dodge roll. Let's not talk about that. I hit the wrong button. All right, cool. Let me bring up my torch because it's starting to get dark. We can't really see very well. All right, so dodging, since I just did it, we're going to talk about it. Dodging is kind of a big part of combat. Until you get good defensive armor, I would not suggest just standing there and tanking. Believe me, I've done it. Do not recommend. I would say get kind of good at dodging. Sprinting also uses stamina, so be careful. Dodging uses a lot of stamina. Jumping doesn't necessarily use that much stamina, but it doesn't really help you evade too much when it comes to combat. But the insects and enemies have this weird mechanic where once they kind of have like locked onto your character, they, what's the word? They like, you can't break it. You can't like break the lock on. So if you move, they're going to move with you and they're still going to hit you. It's a weird thing. The more you watch, the more you'll see it. It took me a bit to kind of like adapt to it. And Now that I kind of have it, you have to basically like Dark Souls style time your dodges, and that's the best way to avoid incoming damage. So Campfire is going to be our first make. We're going to plop one here. We looted some ant heads from a singular ant head from those ants. We're going to cook this and make food because we're basically starving. We've now made an ant skewer. I'm going to stick this on my hotbar just because we're going to eat it because our nutrition is getting low. If we can get next to this threshold here, these two little lines, as long as our food or nutrition is above that limit, we will automatically regen health. If it's not, we don't. So it's very important to stay well fed, like at all times. At all freaking times. Now that I've used the campfire, we are just gonna break it. If you played Valheim, you're probably familiar with a system like this, where you use something, put it out, and you break it to get the resources back. It is a one-to-one refund, so make use of that. Especially when it comes to workbenches, another thing that's very like Valheim similar. So if you played Valheim, you are going to like pick up on this really, really quickly. If you haven't, hopefully this this video and this series will be helpful to you in your playthrough of Smalland. So we've got our workbench down. Make special note up here. This took me a little, honestly, an embarrassing amount of time to figure out because I was like, how do I repair stuff? And I just never looked up. You click over here on repair or hit like E to select it, and then you could click your items to repair. Here is something that's very, very important to take away. I'm just dumping information on you because this is like beginner tips and tricks that are going to save your life. If you repair early, it is literally free. It costs you no resources. So repair early and repair often. Always carry the stuff on you to put down a workbench. Always carry the stuff. Always. You could, I'm showing you an example. You could always drop a workbench, repair, and then break it. So always carry this stuff with you. It's super helpful. We're going to keep this one here because I'm going to make some other stuff. Bandages help a lot, especially in the beginning, because it gives you like a regen on top of your food related regen. So we're going to make a few of those because they're relatively cheap and just fiber. You can get higher tiers of them, and the higher tiers are worth, so bandages. I want to make a sword because I don't have anything that does cut damage. And I usually put that on my 2 slot. Cut damage or edged damage is what it's referred to as, and a simple bow. Bows do pierce damage, but they require arrows. Very, very important. And then right above my head, you'll see a ladybug travel kit. We can't necessarily make this yet because we don't have the nectar or the edible mushrooms, but you can tame in Smalland. And one of our first tames will likely be a ladybug. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're not quite there. I'm just gonna full send on the arrows. I couldn't quite make 100, so we're 90 out of 100. And we're pretty much set to go. Let's break our bench. It's nighttime. Hooray. Things also, this is creature resistance. Resistance and weaknesses. So the owls give you the heads up. They tell you about it. Another important thing to note here is that at night, there are new creatures that come out and they are aggressive. Think Minecraft. I mean, creepers come out at night. It's big danger. It's just scarier and harder altogether. We want to try to avoid big travel at night as much as possible, but since we're right here in the beginning of the game, we don't have much choice. We need to establish a base. We need to build all that good stuff. So speaking of building, let's pull out my hammer again, and you can build. Like, the building system is very similar to Ark. This is just the basic tier structures. There are other tiers. We haven't unlocked wood yet. When we get to that, we will likely do a big base build. And speaking of base building, there's some really cool stuff with base building. Dismantling structures. Thank you for the tips, Mr. Owl. We've covered most of that already. There's a really cool feature with base building in Smalland. I'm not going to spoil it just yet. When we get to it, I'll do more of a segment on it. We'll highlight it, but we're going to start to advance now. I've talked a lot. We've got a lot of information coming at you like really rapidly and quickly. So I hope that you're able to like digest most of it. But let's show the gameplay, take what we've learned, and apply it firsthand. And the reason why I'm coming up this tree is because I believe there is another owl effigy up here, yes, that I want to hit. It's going to give us some more information, and there's also some goodies. I feel bad, because the owl is like the sacred god of the tiny people, the tiny pixie people. But we're gonna just yoink all the offerings. Thank you. Sacred Owl. I'm probably gonna get cursed for whatever reason, but yeah, we want to do that. Our torch is a little bit low, so let's whip out Building Hammer. Let's drop this down, if I can. Here, I think I had it for a second. This land is so sacred that I can't build on it. We're gonna interact. I don't want to repair my torch before it's just gone. Oh, it did. See, that cost me. It was pretty damaged, so it cost me a little bit. My biggest goal in the beginning, just because I figured this out the hard way, my biggest goal in the beginning is going to be finding fireflies for the upgraded torch. This basic torch does not last very long. As you can see, the durability goes real quick. If we can find fireflies, we can get the firefly goop and we can make a torch with just... I think... Let me look. Let me give you an actual number here. Put this down. It's an insane amount of durability compared to the base torch. Okay, we can't do it there. It's a lot. Take my word for it. We'll cover it again when we make it. But it's like 5 to 6 times the durability of the base torch, and it will be such a good quality of life thing once you get it that you'll thank me. You'll be glad. That is a Grasshopper. We don't want to mess with you yet, Grasshopper. You're gonna mess with us though. And it's starting to kind of get day a little bit. Put this torch away just to save on it. Ants. Yeah, I can't really see very well, so I lied about the torch. It's coming back out. We gotta run. Things are very dangerous, especially starting out. My goal. Oh, no, not that. I am getting attacked. I tried to click with the build hammer. I didn't have my right weapon out. Just run. Not like this. I gotta get away. There's a beetle over there too. Why? Oh no, I'm in big danger trouble. I made bandages, but you might see what death is like very early in the game. Oh my god. It's very close to being an official nerd video. Very close. Go away. No, not you too, Mr. Beetle. If you ever played Ark, oh, there's another beetle. If you ever played Ark and you remember starting out, welcome to Smalland. Please, for the love of God. Daddy uppies. Let me, oh, there it is. We knew it was gonna happen. There, go buy all my kit. I just ran. I don't know where I went. Here, we respawned. I was talking about how you keep your armor and whatever you have equipped. This is what I meant. I had my axe equipped and I had my torch equipped as well as my armor. So we maintain this. Oh, did I miss tagging this guy? The map. Thank you, owl effigy. Did I miss tagging this guy too? Oh my god, I missed owls everywhere. Nourishment, very important. We talked about that. We covered it. And let's see, on the map, oh, we went way past Kalev. We just ran. We just ran for our lives. So we're gonna recover our kit and work our way to Kalev, because that's basically what we should be doing. We're gonna try to advance this in a smart way and not do much traveling at night. And maybe gather enough resources to craft a bed and small shelter so I can start skipping through night. That's an important thing to do if you can. If you can skip night, I recommend doing it, especially in the early stages, whenever possible. All right, celebrating our official Nerd Parade video due to my death. Here's a gravestone. This is kind of what it looks like, a little candle. Oh my shits, it's a beetle. I was showing my butt. I'm gonna have 2 gravestones in the same location because this guy just got the jump on me. Dodge, duck, dip, dive. Loot, please loot, please loot. Oh, take all. Oh no, 3 health. I am in the big danger. Okay, we want to go north. Oh, beetle. Beetlejuice, you suck. I just got my body back. Okay. All right, with our kit recovered, it is time to brave the wilds once more. And there is a storm a-brewing too. I don't know if you could hear the thunder. It's a bit of a rumble. We're faced with a kind of a big challenge. So something that will kill your tiny pixie person near instantly is water. And to get to Kalev, we have to cross some water. Now, I could go all the way down here and cross on this little, like, bridge area, but I'm far too stubborn for that. So we're going to try a bit of a run and a jump, or we could walk over there and cross that part. But we're going to swim for a little bit. Oh, full submersion is bad. Don't die. Okay, we made it out. If you're full submerged for more than just a few seconds, oh, crap, you will, like, instantly die. There's no swimming. There's no pass and go. There's no collecting $200. You just die. So water is extraordinarily dangerous. Always be very, very careful when attempting to cross any type of body of water. Now that I have made the sword, and I'm tired of getting bullied by bigger creatures, we're gonna bully these ants a little bit. And I need to get their heads, because that's a pretty easy source of food. The ant skewers, I need to go further north. The ant skewers are a really good source of food kind of like early in the game. So once we get closer to Kalev, I'm going to drop a campfire. I'm going to consume one of my bandages here to keep my health regen going. And we're going to get ourselves like super well fed. And Kalev controls the stone mine. Oh, I'm out of stam. I should not have been sprinting like that. Thankfully, ants, I'm using the sword because ants are weak to edged damage or cut damage or slash damage, however you want to refer to it. So that's going to be like a really good friend of yours. You can tell what the weakness is. This is important to note. By hitting V for PC, it's the V key. Hit V and that puts you in your sense mode. So there's an ant down there. I should be close enough. Yeah. It says bull ant, and you can kind of make it out. It's very far away, but it says edge damage, and it's in yellow, indicating that it's weak. We need to kill one of those very, very soon. Very, very soon. Because we need to get an ant mandible in order to make a pickaxe. Let's put this down. We're going to set up base here for a little bit, so I'm going to leave that. And we're also going to make a... not that yet. We're going to make that in a second. A workstation, or workbench. Go ahead and repair all of our stuff. Hopefully the torch is not, because I'm using it. Repair all of our stuff. And then we're gonna head over here and talk to Kalev, who's gonna let us know what the next step is on our quest. So he's gonna tell us that the mine has recently collapsed and his buddies, a lot of them got crushed. That kind of sucks, it's not great. But what he could do for us is he could teach us how to mine, which we already know, and make us some armor. He also gives us a compendium and map update for Scotty in case we didn't already have it, but we do. So he can make us stone gear, and we need to collect stone, obviously, in order to get that rolling. So, in order to get stone, we have to make a pick. In order to get a pick, we have to kill a bull ant, which is bigger than the smaller carpenter black ants. They're like the red fire ant looking dudes. And there happens to be one right down here, as well as some screws, and we want those screws. So let's go. We can loot screws from the ground. Those are needed in crafts. Okay, dodge, duck, dip, dive. Okay, he reared back, we dodge it. When he rears back, we dodge. That's the play. Oh. Rear back. See, he did that thing I was talking about earlier where he like locks onto you and you can't get away from it, so you gotta dodge at the perfect time. The windows, ooh, almost fell off. The windows are a little small, but you can do it. It just takes a little bit of practice. Clearly, I'm not super great at it yet. Did I make those ant skewers? Did I forget? I think I forgot, but we got mushrooms, so let's eat mushroom. Get our food up. So we're regenning naturally. Oh, just barely over the threshold. Use the band-aid. Any more foods? Any more foods? Oh, no, I did make the skewers. Hell yeah. Now we're at 100 food. Perfect. That's where we want to be at. Did I get ant mandible? No, I didn't. Okay, the killing continues. Let's just take all of my health and fall damage because I missed the thing. Okay, this is challenge mode. We're at 22 health. Oh, okay, we're at 9 health. Let's run. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Should have put down a bed. Can I still do it? I don't have time to band-aid. They'll get me. My baby ankles have betrayed me. Please. I'm just bad. Okay, I think I've gotten to a place where they can't necessarily climb. I can't even climb, so oh, okay, they can climb. Oh, 2 health. He's gonna hate me. Oh my god, that was by sheer luck that I made it up there. Let's use this opportunity to band-aid. No! Oh, dodge. Kalev, protect me. Band-aid's doing its work. Okay, let's just stay far away from him. When he rears back, we dodge back. I timed it right that time. All right, sweet. Okay, no mandibles. We need to kill for more mandibles. We learned our lesson. No. We know now. We need some more wood, and we can make that bed. That means we gotta find twigs. Surely there's some twigs around here. Surely? Okay, no twigs. Not in that area, anyway. Perhaps back down this area. Bed. Very important. Didn't mean to say bed twice, but we did for whatever reason. Thanks, brain. You're making me look bad in front of my friends. Twigs. My kingdom for twigs. We just need some. Let's go into bug senses, which you can't do with your hammer out. Just figured that one out. Okay, that's 2. I can't chop down the mauve plant unless I have a higher tier pick or higher tier axe, right? Yeah, I need crude, so I can't chop that yet. There's twig. Perfect. All right, we're gonna get out of this because it's a bit disorienting. We're gonna make ourselves a bed. Whew. It has been a challenging start out. Things are dangerous. Honestly, I should have made the bed much earlier. That should have been one of the first things I placed down, just in case I meet my inevitable end over here, as I have done several times before in this video. But we got there eventually. What I can do as well is maybe try to juke the system if I do it over here, because we need to have our bed sheltered. That's very important, so that we can sleep. You can't sleep unless your bed is sheltered. So let's do that. Let's try to juke the system. No, we need actual support. I thought I'd be able to tag it off of the the wall here is down to Foundy. Let's be on ground. That's being blocked by the mushroom. I want to game the system a bit. So let's try that. And then we'll do this leaf roof. Okay, that hopefully should qualify as... Yes, it does. Okay, I fall into a deep slumber. Yeah! Very quick and dirty. Like, I could have probably done that a little bit better. But at least it healed us. It does make you hungry, but it heals you if you sleep.